Something big is brewing at Ibrox. Behind closed doors, away from the cameras and headlines, a major defensive deal is moving fast, and it's now right on the edge of completion. All that's left is the medical formality at this point, and once that's done, Rangers will have made yet another crucial move in what's becoming a full-blown squad revolution under Russell Martin. It's not just about adding new names, it's about reshaping the very identity of the team, bit by bit. Martin is putting together a squad with the balance, grit, and technical edge to challenge on all fronts, both at home in the Premiership and on the European stage. Now, while most of the summer transfer talk has revolved around new faces arriving at Ibrox, this particular development cuts deeper. It's not just about who's coming in, it's about redefining what Rangers are building towards. You can feel it. There's a clear direction, a blueprint emerging under Martin's leadership. And this defender deal is another piece of that puzzle falling into place. But before we dive deeper into what this deal means, we need to talk about the name on everyone's lips right now, Conor Coady. The veteran centre-half continues to dominate the Rangers transfer chatter, and with good reason. Coady brings more than just defensive security. He brings presence, experience, and the kind of leadership you can't teach. Rangers made their intentions clear weeks ago, and discussions have been ongoing ever since. Martin wants a figure who can marshal the backline and guide the younger players through the intensity of a full Scottish season mixed with the pressures of European competition, and Coady fits that bill perfectly. If Rangers get this deal over the line, Coady would become the 7th signing of what's turning into one of the most aggressive summer recruitment campaigns in recent club history. Just look at the caliber and volume of the names brought in. Tel Ogard, Emmanuel Fernandez, J.D. Gassama, Nasa, Max Aarons, Joe Rothel. All coming in with different profiles, different strengths, but united by one thing: potential. Martin's not just plugging gaps, he's building something from the ground up. And while we're on the topic of ambition, it's worth mentioning another big move that almost happened this week. Rangers put in a bold offer for Crystal Palace's Jessurun Raksaki. The approach was structured as a loan with an obligation to buy something that shows real intent, especially considering the fee being discussed was up to £10 million. That would make the winger the second most expensive signing in Rangers' entire history, behind only Tor Andre Flo. Now Palace rejected the offer, not willing to lose such a talented player under those terms, but that bid tells you everything you need to know about how serious Rangers are this window. They're not sitting back, they're going after players who can make a difference. But back to the here and now, Conor Coady's situation continues to build momentum. He's watching things unfold at Ibrox closely, and he's not exactly hiding it. After Rangers' solid 2-0 win over Panathinaikos in their Champions League qualifier earlier this week, Coady was spotted liking Jack Butland's celebratory post on Instagram. It might seem like a small thing, but these little clues don't go unnoticed, especially by a fan base as tuned in as Rangers. And when you combine that with the fact that Coady made 20 Premier League appearances last season and has close to 200 overall under his belt, this is the type of signing that could anchor the defense in a way that's been missing for some time. Butland himself was one of the standouts in that win. Early on, he pulled off a stunning save in the 8th minute, diving full stretch to deny a goal that looked destined to go in. That moment changed everything. Had Panathinaikos taken the lead, the night could have looked very different. Instead, Rangers capitalized. Finlay Curtis opened the scoring, and J.D. Gassama, one of the newest additions, made his mark with a debut goal that capped off a dream night. That's the kind of debut you hope for when you sign someone: immediate impact, real energy, and a goal to show for it. But for all the excitement around new arrivals, there are also exits. And one of them is now all but confirmed. Dutch centre-back Robin Proper is on his way out with a return to FC Twente. On the brink of completion, the move will bring his frustrating spell in Glasgow to an end. It's a 4-year deal being lined up with the transfer fee reportedly around £1.5 million. His exclusion from the midweek squad against Panathinaikos was telling. Negotiations were slowed down by some contractual back and forth. Proper wasn't too keen on accepting a wage cut, but Twente came in with a strong long-term offer that finally unlocked the deal. It's a return to familiar territory for Proper, who captained Twente between 2021 and 2024, racking up over 100 appearances. Things just never quite clicked for him in Glasgow. Yes, he scored that memorable goal in the Old Firm clash back in January, but that was one of the few real highlights. In total, he made just 20 league appearances, with Martin now reshaping the entire squad and pushing forward with the new vision. Proper's exit feels like the right move For all parties, for him it's a second chance back home. For Rangers, it's a way to free up wages and space for the next phase of the rebuild. And speaking of rebuild, the search for reinforcements out wide is still a top priority. The rejected bid for Raksaki was a setback, no doubt. But it's also an indication of the scale of the ambition. The Ibrox club aren't just dipping their toes in the market, they're diving in head first. Russell Martin wants quality on both flanks, and right now the right side remains an area lacking depth. Against Panathinaikos, Kieran Dawell, a central midfielder by trade, was asked to fill in out wide, and while he did his job, that's not a long-term solution. The need for a natural right winger is obvious. There is some optimism coming from inside the club, though. Youngster Finlay Curtis continues to impress in preseason and scored in the midweek win. Then there's Colombian wingers Car Cortez, who's finally returning to full fitness after a long spell out, but with a packed schedule ahead and a premiership title race on the horizon. Martin knows he can't rely solely on emerging talent. He needs depth, experience, and versatility, especially with last season's standout on the right Vaclav Cerny. Now back at Wolfsburg following the end of his loan. A permanent move seems increasingly unlikely, so the pressure is on to find a new solution fast. New sporting director Kevin Thelwell has been instrumental in making things happen behind the scenes. The number of English-based signings arriving in recent weeks speaks to a clear recruitment strategy. Max Aarons and Joe Rothwell came in from Bournemouth, Najia from Wolves, Emmanuel Fernandez from Peterborough, and Gassama from Sheffield Wednesday. And that's not even counting Tel Ogard, who's been one of the more intriguing additions arriving from Luton, with a reputation for being a physical nonsense defender. Elsewhere on the pitch, the striker situation is still being monitored closely. Danilo Cyril Dessers and Hamza Igamain all featured in the Panathinaikos match. But question marks remain, especially around Igamain. He's got raw talent, no doubt, but Martin is looking for consistency and end product. With European qualification at stake and the season approaching full speed, decisions need to be made, and fast. One thing is clear, this isn't the Rangers of old just making reactive signings. This is a new era guided by a clear plan, aggressive intent, and a manager who knows what kind of team he wants to build. The pieces are coming together, and whether it's Connor Cody arriving to anchor the backline or Robin Proper leaving to make way, everything points to a club undergoing a serious evolution. There's a momentum building at Ibrox, and supporters can sense it. The performances are starting to reflect the vision off the pitch. And if the deals continue at this pace, Rangers will head into the new campaign with a squad not only stronger, but smarter, more balanced, and ready for the long road ahead. The changes taking place at Ibrox right now are not just cosmetic, they're foundational. You can see it in the way Russell Martin speaks, in how he lines up his team, and especially in how the recruitment is being handled. It's not just about grabbing the best available players. It's about identity, about building a group that reflects a certain style, a certain attitude. There's no more room for half measures. Every signing, every departure, every tactical shift is part of a larger picture. And while it might still be early days, the signs are pointing towards something serious being built in Glasgow's blue half. Take the midfield, for instance. It's an area that's long needed a bit of steel and creativity in equal measure, and the club have gone after it with purpose. The new arrivals have all brought something different. Joe Rothwell in particular looks like he could be a key cog. He's got a solid engine, good vision, and that bit of aggression that's often required in the Scottish game. Russell Martin knows him well, and it's no surprise he pushed for that signing. It's those kinds of decisions, smart, informed, intentional, that show how this Rangers rebuild isn't about flashy headlines. It's about making the squad function better across the board. Another big talking point has been the return of Car Cortez. The Colombian winger missed a huge chunk of time with injury, and the timing of his comeback couldn't be better. He's a flair player. Quick feet, low center of gravity, and a fearless dribbling style that gets fans out of their seats. If he can get back to full match sharpness, he could be a real weapon on that right-hand side, especially given the gaps left by the likes of Cerny. Martin has already hinted that he sees Cortez as part of the core group going forward, and his versatility, being able to play both wings, adds even more value in a season that promises to be relentless. It's also been encouraging to see young players like Finlay Curtis stepping up. There's always been talent bubbling under the surface at Rangers, but the pressure to win now often sidelines that potential. What Martin's trying to do differently is blend the two, experienced heads like Cody and Butland guiding the emerging generation, like Curtis, Gassama, and Ogard. It's a model that has worked well elsewhere. And in a league where squad depth can often determine whether you lift the trophy or finish second, having young players who can contribute meaningfully is a massive advantage. Even in defense, where typically you want the most seasoned players, Martin isn't afraid to take a chance on youth as long as it fits into the broader tactical plan. Emmanuel Fernandez is a prime example. Tall, composed, and confident on the ball, he fits the modern mold of a center back. He's still raw, sure, but under the right guidance, and with someone like Cody potentially beside him, he could blossom quickly. That's the gamble Rangers are taking, and if it pays off, they'll not just have built a team for now, but a platform for years to come. In terms of the tactical setup, Martin has been experimenting with flexibility. Against Panathinaikos, there were clear signs that Rangers aren't going to stick to a rigid formation. The midfield was fluid, with players interchanging regularly. The fullbacks pushed high but not recklessly. The pressing was organized, and there was a sense of purpose to every movement. That's what Martin is trying to instill, not just a team that can compete, but one that can control matches. Too often in recent years, Rangers have found themselves reacting to games instead of dictating them. That's the culture shift underway now. It's also been refreshing to see how the club are handling the financial side of things. The spending this window hasn't been reckless. Even the bigger bids, like the one for Raksaki, have been structured deals with long-term planning in mind. There's no throwing money at the wall to see what sticks. Instead, there's a clear strategy: invest in players with resale value, maintain a balanced wage structure, and avoid repeating past mistakes that have cost the club dearly. That level of discipline might not generate headlines, but it builds sustainability. And that's what ensures success beyond just one season. But perhaps the most telling sign of where this squad is headed came in the body language during the Champions League qualifier. From the first whistle, you could see the hunger, the intensity. Players fighting for every ball, pressing high, communicating constantly. There's a unity in this group that feels different, like they're all buying into something bigger than themselves. That kind of chemistry can't be faked. It either exists or it doesn't. And right now it's clear that Russell Martin has tapped into something genuine with this group. The crowd felt it too. The atmosphere at Ibrox that night was electric, not just because of the win, but because the fans could see the identity returning. This isn't just about results. It's about reconnecting with the style and standards that made Rangers feared across Europe. The kind of football that blends physicality with flair, aggression with control, grit with class. That's what supporters have been craving, and slowly but surely it's starting to return. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in football. Injuries, suspensions, and bad luck can derail even the best laid plans. But what you want more than anything is a team with direction, a squad with cohesion, a manager with conviction, and right now Rangers have all three. That doesn't mean everything will go smoothly, but it does mean the foundations are stronger than they've been in a long time. Behind the scenes, the dynamic between Martin and sporting director Kevin Thelwell has also been key. The two seem to be in sync, identifying targets early, moving quickly, and closing deals without drawn-out sagas. That kind of efficiency is crucial, especially when European qualifiers come so early in the season. Every day wasted in the market is a day lost on the training ground. But Rangers have acted decisively, bringing in the majority of their signings, with time to integrate them before the real tests begin, and those tests are coming thick and fast. The Champions League second leg looms, followed by the start of the Premiership, and then the domestic cup fixtures start to pile up. There's no margin for error. Every point matters. Every rotation decision, every tactical tweak, every substitution, it all carries weight. That's why squad depth isn't a luxury, it's a necessity, and Martin knows it. There's also been an emphasis on character, not just ability. You look at the players brought in and a pattern emerges. These are professionals, players with leadership experience, players who've captained sides, come through tough spells, or carried responsibility at a young age. That's intentional. Martin doesn't just want talent. He wants players who can handle Ibrox, who can take the pressure when things get tense, who won't shrink under the weight of expectation. Because at Rangers, you don't just play football. You carry a legacy, and not everyone is cut out for that. As we move deeper into the window, don't be surprised if more names come in and a few more leave. The rebuild isn't complete yet, but it's well underway. The structure is visible, the vision is clear, and the belief is growing. Supporters are starting to dream again, not just because of what's being said, but because of what's being done. Performances are backing up the rhetoric. The project has legs. So while the headlines may continue to focus on the big transfer targets, the real story is unfolding in the day-to-day, on the training pitch, in the dressing room, in the conversations between players who believe in what they're building. That's the foundation of any great team. And right now, Rangers are laying it brick by brick, step by step, deal by deal. The journey's just getting started, but you can already feel that something different is in the air at Ibrox. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Whispers are swirling round Ibrox once again, and it seems the rumor mill has finally got under the skin of Rangers boss Russell Martin, the former Swansea and MK Dons man, who took the reins at Rangers amid hopes of a fresh dawn, has come out swinging in what many are calling a rare public display of frustration. Sources close to the club suggest tensions are mounting behind closed doors, with Martin allegedly warning that the dressing room is infected, a stark word choice that sparked more questions than answers. While he didn't specify names, the pointed language suggests the manager feels certain individuals may be undermining the collective effort. Martin's comments have done little to quieten speculation that not all is well in Govan. While on paper, the squad boasts depth and quality, recent performances have been inconsistent, and murmurs of unrest have begun to echo through Glasgow's blue half. Some believe the gaffer's remarks were directed at fringe players, unhappy with their lack of game time, while others reckon there's more to the story. Perhaps an internal power struggle or a clash of egos. The Ibrox faithful, for their part, are split. Some applaud Martin's straight-talking approach and see it as a call for unity and accountability, while others worry that this kind of language in public only adds fuel to an already flickering fire. Insiders hint that the board is monitoring the situation closely, though there's no official indication of discontent at executive level. It's no secret that results and harmony will be key in the coming weeks. With a string of crucial fixtures on the horizon, all eyes will be on the Gers' response, both on and off the pitch. Is this just a storm in a teacup, or the start of something more seismic? Time will tell, but one thing's certain. The calm Martin many thought they'd sign isn't afraid to stir the pot when needed. Greetings, fans! Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC, and don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.